All right, everybody, what's going on? Welcome to another edition of SWAC Smoke. I'm your boy C Wells. We got DJ in the house as usual, and today I got my SWAC Smoke shirt on today. So we're gonna we're gonna have a little bit of fun today, man. What's going on? How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Feeling good. Weather finally kind of slacked up out there. The sun come back out, so that gives me energy.
Oh yeah, you can't beat that. We done had like some real bad rainy days these last couple of days, and now we back to nice sunshine, and I think we'll have a good weekend with the weather. So yeah, you can't beat that, man. That put a little extra pep in your step.
Yeah,
And
man.
I'm
Go ahead.
oh no, I was just saying, man, and I'm doing pretty good myself, hanging in there. Um, we got
That's
Lowe's
good.
J in the house. Yeah, we
Yeah.
was late, man. Today it's my fault today. We was late, but we here now. So you beat us here, so that's good. So I'm glad you was able to make it today. You didn't catch the end of the show, but glad to have you here as usual, man. So let's get to it, man. What you got on
uh,
the plate today?
I'm gonna pop it off. I don't know if you seen the news coming out of Arkansas. Boy, Coach Prime has been all in Arkansas, still in four-star number one rated receiver out of Newport. He done committed to JSU today, and so I go to do a little research. It looked like PB offered the kid today, early this morning, because he posted on his Twitter 8 hours ago. You know, he blessed the receiver and offer, but JSU
Oh,
already been on him.
yeah, I mean, I guess it's better late than never,
Better, yeah,
but
but
you know, that's not that. At that point, why even?
I guess things can change. He's a 2023
Oh yeah,
prospect, so I mean, I'm sure he may change his commitment, more than once because he narrowed it down to Indiana, Arkansas State, and JSU. So as the season goes, if he does anything, the offers will probably start rolling in. But you definitely don't want to let your conference foe be the first to offer him.
oh yeah, and especially like you like in your backyard,
Yeah,
and that's one of those things that we talk about a lot on this show. Um, Offering these kids, man. That I mean, if he's a 4-star kid already, then I know stars don't mean everything, but you should be at least you should have at least communicated with this kid, and you know an offer is nothing to give. I mean, lots
yeah.
of schools give them tons of offers, but you don't miss out on those kind of guys. At least make the effort. That's the way I always feel.
What up, Thrillo? Also, Jackson State came in and got a running back, Chris Smith, out of UAM, which is a Division II school in Monticello, Arkansas.
Oh, I
Um,
know the bowl weevils very well, man.
yeah, yeah.
Very well. They came in the month for one time and spanked us, bro. So I made a point to learn that school, man. But
Yeah.
JSU is living in Arkansas right now. Look like it.
Yeah, man. We should be getting those kids. If they good enough to play up to FCS, we should be getting them. But it is what it
Yeah.
is.
Like I made a tweet like a couple of days ago, and I was saying like anytime I see a kid list their offers, I automatically look for that JSU, man. I'm like, because it's gonna be there, and if it's not there, then I'm like, what's up with this? And that's not to say that they got the monopoly on knowing what kid can ball and what can't, but they offer so many people. So when I see a kid without it, I'm like, what's the story here? But I always look for that block JSU anytime I see kids with offers. They covering them out big time.
My a good question I got is all these offers they got going out. Granted, this kid's the next class, but how many of them can be for scholarship? Man, some of this got to be just come to JSU because with the budget, they can't have that much dang on money.
Yeah, I mean, we say this all the time. Like, oh man, thank you. I'm sorry. I was watching the game. I was watching the game, and I had to stop to the show. So man, thank you for that, man. That was a JSU. was up on Southern, 5-1. Southern came back and cut it to 5-4. Then JSU went up 7-4. Southern scored two in the eighth, I think, tied up, and now they moving on, man. This tournament has been ravaged by the weather. We still are in the first section of games that was supposed to take place yesterday, so the rain really did some damage. But anytime Southern can beat JSU in baseball, I'm with it.
8
Eight
to
to
7.
seven. Yeah, man, that was a hell of a game, man. Southern bats finally woke up at the end, but it, now they play FAM tomorrow, 9 a.m.
Uh-oh. Yeah. I don't know either, Thrillo. I can't see that happening.
I I mean, like I just would love to just be able to see the numbers, because it's like hey, Jamie G, man, I got to take them when I can get them, man. I know that this team wasn't as good as last year's JSU team, but still, man, tournament time, we need these W's. But um, like I said, I would love to see just like how they working this out, man. And that's not even from a area of hate or anything like that. It's just it's just I'm just I just curiosity, man.
Yeah, I would want to like mock it somehow. Like, how can other schools mock what they're able to do? At least, it ain't from a hating standpoint. It's just how can I get this many kids on campus? You know what I'm saying? Not that you're gonna keep them all, but for me to at least evaluate and get the best of the crop that I can get.
Yeah, and for me, like exactly, man. I just want to know so I can see how it will work in other places. Like you said, you're not gonna keep everybody, but you kind of build up that competition. And hey, when a guy choose to move on, you help him find another spot. But I just feel like I just really would just love to see, just like I said, just out of total curiosity.
Speaking of that, yeah, I think it's a lot of walking on. Um, but next question, Alabama A&M. What's with the decommits here recently?
Yeah, they had what, like two or
At
three
least
recently.
at least three. Yeah.
That and I think they're defensive guys, or maybe one offensive lineman, but I don't know because they went heavy in the portal. They brought in like over almost 30 guys in the portal this past off season. So I don't know if you know guys are getting that and they finding out it ain't what they think it is, or they haven't came yet. And sometimes when you haven't really came, people still recruit you. So I don't know if somebody's, I don't know, but they had a couple big time guys who they were expecting to make an impact. They had to make an impact, have left, and JSU and Southern is on one of the defensive tackles that left from over there. I think guy from Maryland.
Jamie G, since you're in the building, I did want to touch on this Coach Reed contract dispute stalemate or whatever they got going on. According to the last thing I read, I don't know if we have any updates on that, but from the sounds of it, she talking like she turned down some jobs to stay at JSU, but they ain't trying to pay her.
Oh, you got to break bread. I mean, you got to if she's turning down jobs, which I'm quite sure that she getting offers, left and right. If she's saying JSU is the place where she want to be, and she's doing a good job there, then you got to, at some point you got to break bread. Um, I don't know what that figure would entail because obviously there's gonna be differences between what whoever's offering and what they probably offer. But if she's willing to stay, then you just got to make it worth a while in some way. You just can't you can't let that walk over not wanting to cut a check.
Well, let's just put your AD hat on. You only got so much money, right? So do you go to her and say after that season when you knew she was going to get offers and maybe you had this conversation, is this where you want to be? Do you want to pursue? This is X amount I can pay you because this is all I have. You know what I'm saying? So I understand if you leave, but are you saying I want you to stay, but I can't give you no money? You know what I'm saying? What do you think the case is?
Um, I think if you make a commitment with something possible, in a year or two, maybe. I think that I think one of those is going to be greater later type of thing. Because if we keep winning and the brand is still growing, then something's gonna come through. I might have to ask you to kind of work with me a bit, but you know, I know other people gonna hit it and they're gonna come. But I think you have to have, you got to be strong in your words in that case, because I think you're gonna probably have to talk her into maybe something coming down the line. But I would have some shape form of an extension would have been waiting for her at 0-0 in the SWAC tournament. So I would have shot my shot right then and there before it even got to the tournament time. So I mean, I'm not gonna bankrupt my program, but I know I got a head football coach that got his own revenue stream, so I might can kind of snatch a little bit of money, some kind of way, move some things around.
Honestly, if if Prime, let's just, we don't know the situation, but if it is just a money situation, if I'm Prime and I don't need what JSU is giving me, if I don't necessarily need it, and my daughter is going to play for this coach that she's committed to, that I pretty much wanted my kid to play for, I may be offering a little bit of, to try to take a decrease in salary to keep that coach, because my kid is playing for the best coach in the SWAC, probably women's basketball at this current time. So, hey, it might be worth a little give and take.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, in this kind of situation, you don't want to force somebody to leave when they don't want to leave, because
Right.
obviously when if you're good at something, you should be paid as well as you can for it, within reason. But you don't want to lose somebody because you can't even put a number on the table. If you put a number on the table and somebody come through with something better, and you can't do nothing with it, then obviously it is what it is. But you have to make some kind of attempt to me. Oh, this was some big news.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I had that on the list too. Yeah, I mean, they got a winner. You know what I'm
Oh yeah,
saying? I mean, can he resurrect Morgan State? That's yet to be seen, but I mean, they have somebody that has the resume, and I can't knock him for that. 12 seasons, he went 89-45, 7 conference championship attended, winning the last three.
and
I
a nice
mean,
playoff run this
yeah.
past season. I
So
I was waiting for somebody to snatch this dude up. I was surprised. I mean, I don't know if anybody in the SWAC went after him. I mean, he's an East Coast guy. I don't know if he would have wanted to, come south. But I was surprised his name didn't come up in a lot of coaches' searches. I mean, like you said, he's a winner. He's a guy that he's used to working with not a lot and getting a lot out of it. So one thing I will say, if you look at his Bowie State team, they physical and they tough. I think Morgan State gonna get that at least.
you played for him through low?
So I wish him the best, man. If you Bowie State is kind of tough, but you had to anticipate that this happened at some point. You know, coaches hard to keep coaches. We just finished talking about that, but
Yeah.
I'm eagerly anticipating to see what he do. Now I'm gonna pay attention to Morgan State, which is something I never said before.
Yeah. Since we're talking about coaching changes, I want to know. Okay, he was at TSU. I want to know. Do you know how much Southern men's basketball coach getting paid?
Um, I don't know an exact figure. I don't even really want to throw out anything because I'll probably be horribly wrong. Um, so I'm not gonna throw out any. I'm not gonna throw nothing out. But I don't think it's a lot. I'll put it that way. Probably it's probably on the top half of whatever the league make. But I don't even know what league coaches are making right now.
Well, just looking at the situation at Alabama State, they hired Madlock out of South Carolina State, right? he was making 185,000 at South Carolina State, and Alabama State giving him 235,000 to coach basketball.
That's football coach money.
Yeah, I'm not hating on that,
Oh,
but it,
not at
you know
all.
where I'm going with that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, look at Lowe's J.
50, 50K and some blue stove wings, man.
But man, like 235, you got some football coaches probably not getting that.
Yeah, I mean,
So how much is Eddie Robinson, the head coach, football coach, making at Alabama State? Does Alabama State have the money? Do they got the bank down there or up there?
well, I mean, obviously they got something. If you can pay a basketball coach that much money, I mean, I would expect that Coach Robinson is making at least a little bit more. But I mean, a lot of coaches in the SWAC in football, a few of them not even making 200 grand. So it's
Yeah,
it's that's a lot of money. I can't even really put into words how much that is compared to what other guys are making. Um, and that's a lot of money to put on a coach that's not bringing in a lot of rings with him.
right. Yeah, I think a lot of us gonna pay attention to Morgan State this year. I mean, just out of respect for how well he's done. And he's won some rings. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
I would like to know what they're gonna pay him. This guy getting 235,000 to coach basketball. That we know is not the revenue generating sport. Not as much as
Yeah,
football.
and when you put it that way, that makes that figure even more crazy. That you're nobody really makes big money in the SWAC off of basketball.
Nah,
Um, so you're paying. I mean, let's just keep it real. And there's no hate because we all in the same boat in basketball. But you're paying a coach $235,000 to go um, at best 18 and 15 because you're not going to win a lot of non-conference games. You're going to pick up the bulk of your wins in conference play. That I mean, is that a good return for your money? I mean, I think you kind of had to ask that as well.
I don't know. I'll be there firsthand to see how it turned out.
You can start to give just well y'all TSU people, man, y'all are ruthless, man.
They going on one today, man.
y'all, y'all just take shots at all of us, man. Like, come on. The man gonna at least if he play y'all once, he might sneak out a W. So he had to look out for y'all in March though. But yeah, you be able to tell us what's going on, man. You might be able to get some figures and let us know what's up.
Yeah. Oh, come on, man.
Well, I mean,
Let's
go ahead. I'll let you.
Nah, I was just gonna say let's not get full of ourselves, guys.
they. I mean, at least when it comes to the end of the season, they know how to get things done. I can't knock them for that. But
Yeah.
they they find they are a basketball school. So you know, if you're gonna be a basketball school, you got to be good at basketball.
Well, this may be a soft but funny subject, but I got to speak on the whole dancing doll situation.
Hey, go for it, man. I was reading it like
Hold on, let's address this. Good way to look at it, I guess.
yeah. I mean that's a good point.
Yeah.
Um, I mean when you look at it especially in terms of the tournament, that like I said, a lot of people don't like that first four, but that's an actual tournament win when it comes to money. So if you can win that, and some kind of way you find yourself, you're gonna get one unit payout for winning that. So like you said, I think if you're gonna do this, you need to pour money into basketball because, like I said, you can compete quicker in basketball. You can if you can get a solid record, you can bump up a couple seeds and end up a nice mid-major team. So I think you can really pour some money into it and be very successful.
Yeah, y'all do, man. You know, they do their thing. TSU. I don't think I can talk about them in football. Then, you know, we we was able to beat them a lot of years when we couldn't beat other people, but you know that's not even the case no more. So I'm just gonna shut up on that.
Well, let's let you go ahead and get to what you was getting to because I think they want the same thing in the comments.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know no more than nobody else about it, but my question is, who went after who? Is she suing? The Southern got upset with Diana Williams,
Yeah, I heard Southern sent a cease and desist to her. So
but
I don't know.
why?
That's what I don't know if it was Southern or if somebody on the how they have the people
Now,
people looking out for stuff and they're like, hey, I don't know how it started, but Southern sent it out and she clapped back. So and,
yeah,
and then
I
Twitter got a
just don't
hold of it.
understand. Like, you know, I think she was saying it, but like for a program that sends her girls to HBCUs, why do you want to ruffle them feathers?
Yeah, I mean it's not even an issue. What I mean, it's
Yeah,
like as far as a lot of times people talk about trademarks and copyrights and stuff. It's a similarity thing. Like you don't want somebody to confuse you with something else, but nobody's gonna confuse the two.
nah, they ain't even
And
on the same level. Like that's like
exactly,
saying the little Pee Wee Steelers in the neighborhood or Pee Wee Jag, the Mighty Jags. Like we know that's little kids.
yeah.
Come
I
on,
mean,
man. Like
they whatever they generate off of that is not gonna help you. But she definitely, they came for her, and it was an interesting thing. I don't think they expected what they got in return. You know,
yeah,
and we talk about this all the time. When things hit social media, man, they boom, man. It was our turn to get it. Although I will say some people clapping at Southern, and they still got a lot of issues with they athletic department. Um, I'm gonna touch on that in a minute, but I'll let y'all continue with this.
she going to keep the name. Southern going to license the name. Profit. Yeah, I hope they get that settled, man. Like it's always, it seems like we always going at it about something, man. Like this is almost like a pointless.
We got a Montgomery in the house. What's happening?
Hey, I need to speak with this guy.
Yeah, that's a good point right there too. So I mean, I would love to get some more like actual info on that, not like you know what you get when you read a timeline. So I would love to have a well written article about this
Yeah,
somewhere because
instead of
this is
just
something.
clips.
Yeah,
People.
this is something I want to sink my teeth into because it's an interesting thing. But Southern is not changing the name of their dancing group. All y'all getting y'all jokes off that's not happening.
Well, Mr. Timothy, you got any words of advice for someone relocating to Montgomery?
You might well go ahead and let the people know, man.
Ain't nothing but a relocation, man.
He turning Hornet, y'all. He putting Pine Bluff down. He about to.
Now, the Hornet Nation about to cut me a nice little check, so you
Hey,
know I gotta.
hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. We that's another thing we done said. Hey, you cut the check, I'm with you, man.
Yeah,
We appreciate you tuning in, man.
I took a job at Bama State, Los J.
So yeah, he's gonna be a Hornet. Gonna be, he keep the same color scheme though, so he come out
Yeah,
all right.
yeah, I got some HBCU shirts that's black and gold. That's Pine Bluff or Bama State, either one.
Yeah, you can't lose like that.
But
Yeah,
let me hold something, man. You got all the money. I'm trying to get where
I
you at.
know, man. You got you running pop ups all over the place, man. You
Yeah,
doing your thing. I
I'm
want to get halfway to what you got. So
I'm trying to chase trophies and stuff like that.
Woo, man, chase trophies and bags. Like, let me get it all. But
But
let if I can jump in right quick. You know that
appreciate
Grambling
it.
volleyball saga that's been going on. It
Yeah.
is it's still going, man. I don't know if you saw Twitter yesterday in the day, but it's still going, man. It's crazy right now. Did you see that video? The little recruitment video?
No, I haven't seen any of that.
Well, you know how when you take a visit in football, you do a photo shoot, whatever. Um, that was a young lady, a Caucasian young lady in a volleyball outfit with one of those money guns and the
Yeah.
360, the 360 photo that they do.
Hmm.
Um, and Groundling titled they use the hashtag culture shift, and people like number one, people went crazy because they misspelled culture. That's number one. Number two, they went crazy because they saw culture shift in a white person, and
Yeah.
they Gremlin is taking all white people. They ran a team off to bring in white kids, and it's just it. And somebody was talking about the investigation that they're supposed to be having. It's it's nuts, man. It's just it's one of those things like I don't. It's like it never ends. I don't
Yeah.
know where it's gonna end.
They almost just need to cease posting about volleyball or anything until everything is over with
Yeah,
and just let it die down.
this is a sweep under the rug, and hope that you can kind of get it right because it's rough, seeing them go through this, and especially with the athletic department, man, because Travion Scott is the AD there. He's an up and coming young dude, man, and I don't like to see his name get thrown in all that kind of stuff, but that's his watch. It's like that's one of the things that when you sign up to run an athletic department, you gotta be take the brunt of everything. So it's a tough thing, and you don't want to see nobody. You know, you want to get your jokes off for a minute, but after a while, it's like let's try to help. See what we can get, how we can get this thing fixed. Hey,
Okay.
they already drawing lines, man. So you in October, what side of the line you got to be on. So it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Appreciate you tuning in. So we can't do this without you guys.
Shoot. I don't know. Yeah, I just think that whole volleyball situation gonna have to. I would probably just. I mean, you still got to recruit and all that, but I think they just need to chill out with the social media stuff.
Yeah, I think that was like the worst. Like when you say how to do something the wrong way or not reading the room, that's the textbook example. There was no need for that at all.
Yeah.
And that's the first time I've ever seen a non-football recruit not even basketball. You know, you rarely see anybody do photo shoots when they come on visits in any other sport. So that was that was just one of them things, man. I think that was just not the way to do it. You build your team quietly and you stay under the radar, and then you let the season speak for itself. I don't think that was the right way to do it.
Did you see Dion's response to Nick Saban?
Well, he said he wanted him to call him. I mean, he wanted him to address him
For
publicly.
the actual interview, I haven't seen it yet.
No, I haven't seen the actual interview. I just caught a couple things where he was like, if you're gonna put me out there in public, you need to apologize in public. And it was a halfway apology anyway. Like he didn't say he regretted what he said. He just was like, I shouldn't have singled nobody out. I still
Yeah.
feel the way I feel. I mean, it's like it was just a situation that was not at all necessary. And I thought everybody came at Nick like he asked for it. He asked for the smoke. He got it. But on top of that, Tuskegee got in it. Did you see that?
Yeah, yeah. The head coach talking about they need to schedule HBCUs. Man,
Me too.
he was they the last people that need to be jumping in it on that. I
And
think.
And then he was like, we gonna move up to D1 as well. I'm like, I always heard Tuskegee had money problems. So where you gonna generate this money to move up to D2, and where you going? I mean,
Keep your head down, keep working, man.
yeah, that's
Head
it.
down, mouth shut. Cause
That's
he,
it. That's it, man. That's how you make it in this. Well, any time that's how you make it, but that's definitely how you make it in this time, man. You do your work and you stay out of it. Oh, he was on that big time, man. He was like Pookie in New Jack City, man. He was out there bad, man. He jumped feet first in the deep end of the pool, man. Like I mean, it's tough playing a team like Auburn as a FBS opponent. You want somebody to go against Bama, and they are not about to cut you no $1.5 million check for no FCS game. Especially when you're a local team, they go give you 500K just because you don't need the expenses.
yeah. 500K and a bag of Chick-fil-A.
Yes,
Send you on
yes,
your
yes.
way.
If you lucky,
Yeah, with a well-whooped butt.
yes, that's what you're going home with for sure.
But that's just kind of one of them situations when trying to get some attention goes wrong, trying to get relevant, trying to get in the limelight, but you picked the wrong battle to get in.
Yeah, that was a battle that did not even concern you.
Yeah, they have a
So yeah,
kickoff
yeah,
time. Yeah,
I saw
Bama
that
State
today.
playing in that. They playing
Yeah,
Howard.
that should be a good game, man. Honestly, before when I first heard that game announced, like late last year, whatever, I was like, I don't know, what kind of game, but this that can be a sneaky good game, man. Howard, fresh out their new Jordan brand endorsement
Yeah,
against
they got
Bama
Anthony
State.
James' son too.
Yeah,
He had a
so
good spring.
it's I'm gonna have to watch this game. Now, at first I was like, I don't, these two teams, I
Yeah,
don't know.
they seem
Nah,
like they
nah,
could have picked two better teams, but
but maybe Bama State having a new coach, and not, Atlanta ain't that far away. Maybe the Hornet Nation will turn out, and maybe we can get us a SWAC W, man, because we need
we
we
need
need
it.
some W's bad in this thing, man. We need some W's in the worst way.
Yeah, I'm considering maybe going to that. I don't know just yet. I kind of looked at the schedule today, trying to pencil some games in. But I see y'all back in Veterans Memorial Stadium this year
Oh
against
yeah,
ASU.
yeah. That's one of my favorite places most of the time. At
Yeah,
least, at least in recent years, growing up, I hated that place, but now it's not so bad.
that's my number two top SWAC versus FCS game.
That's a game. Stephen F. Austin, Alcorn. I want to see what Alcorn can do. I don't know what they're gonna have, man. They replacing some key guys. Their offensive line and defensive line wasn't that great last year, but maybe they can improve. Like I said, we talk about matchups with other teams, and should we play these games or whatever. But if you're gonna play them, we need to win them, man. We have to win. We have to find some kind of way to string together some non-conference wins. If you're gonna put them on the schedule, you got to start winning these games. Like McNeese is 12-0 against the SWAC. That's
Yeah,
rough.
that's
Now,
not good.
I mean, some of those games, McNeese was a really national contender, and they were playing a bunch of bad Prairie View teams. But recently, they've been beating up on the top teams in the conference. So, it's got to change, man. That part has to change.
Yeah, that's definitely a fact. It should be about teamwork. Should be.
It's teamwork. It gotta be, but like I always say, man, people are never gonna miss the opportunity to get they at least in a social media setting, people ain't never gonna miss the opportunity to get their jokes in. But I always say, when you get yours, don't the shoe gonna get on the other foot in a minute. Or like Coach Prime like to say, the rabbit gonna end up with the gun, and then you gonna be crying because people laughing at your school. So if you're gonna dish it, you gotta take it.
I got two questions, but first one, the what we call the Boombox Classic or Magic City Classic. Both of those games fall on the same weekend. I kind of feel some type of responsibility to have to go to the Magic City Classic, but my heart is with the Boombox Classic. So for the people who've been to a Magic City Classic, what kind of? Because I'm a Bayou Classic guy through and through. So
So, yeah. Well, I'm gonna make it easy for you. Go to the Magic City Classic, and then in December go to the SWAC Championship because Southern and Jackson State gonna play in the SWAC Championship. So
here we go.
that solves that for you, man. You can get the best of both worlds. Hey,
Hey, I wouldn't be mad at that.
you know, I I figure that's the easiest way to do that. But I haven't been to Magic City Classic before, and I would love to go. So I honestly think, man, if since you got the opportunity, I think that's one that you should really try to catch because I know they always talk about how how great that game is. So
Yeah,
I
I've
would love.
watched it on TV, but just never went.
So yeah, I think if you can experience it, like being able to experience as many of those kind of games, I think is huge. I went to the Florida Classic like 3 or 4 years when I lived in Florida, and it was a different thing, but I enjoyed it. So I would love to be able to do that.
Oh,
Uh, we're gonna see. Hopefully, the Classic can solve the West like it's supposed to. So hopefully, both teams can get their act together, and we can have one of them winner take all Bayou Classic because we both. I'm quite sure we both gonna beat Texas Southern. So
oh.
I got to
My
get my shots in, man.
my next question for people like you, I don't know how old some of these other people are that's watching that has come from. I was a kid in the '90s. I remember going to the games. I remember the games being packed and all that. And it's kind of like it's a question I've been asking, but maybe this time was a little different. But what what caused the turnaround, or what caused the disappearance of our people being committed to HBCUs? Like, we remember when the transition maybe started to happen, but when did the attachments to PWIs become as strong as they are, and the detachment from HBCUs? When, when, or maybe why did that come about? Do you think?
All right. Well, I'm gonna speak for myself. Baton Rouge changed in 2003. Um, LSU won the national championship that year. Southern won the SWAC that year. But LSU won the national championship. That was like the first time they ever did that. And a lot of people started to gravitate across town. And I think Southern raised their ticket prices in 2004, and a lot of people left. With the tickets wasn't even that bad, but people always look for a reason to not go anymore. And Southern kind of started on a downturn. At the end of Pete Richardson era, LSU was on the rise, and people just they just jumped away from Southern, and they never really came back. It became a thing to like LSU, which I still don't understand. But they just moved. That I don't even think it's nothing Southern did. It's more that people saw LSU being more successful and they wanted to ride that wave.
Hmm. I was just I was pondering on that the other day. I was wondering if the media had anything to do with it, because it's, I think I said it before, it's not like it's just HBCUs, but FCS in general don't get, near the respect. Um, NIT tournament don't get near the respect as the NCAA tournament. So is it a matter of what the media says is the most important or the biggest and baddest, and that's what people follow? You think that has anything to
Yeah.
do with it?
And I have to put this on the screen. I
Okay.
apologize to anybody for the language, but I can't disagree with that. I'm sorry, y'all, but and that's how I feel. So Joey, me and you on the same page right now. But the media plays a big part in that, especially if you're a person that's like a fringe outside type of not really ingrained in either side of it. If you're an FCS person, then yes, FCS football. Like you said, the NIT. You know that kind of stuff because that's what you follow. But if you're a person that kind of just follows casually, then yeah, you don't hear about a lot of that kind of stuff. So it falls through the cracks, and it here. LSU is obviously the king. They get new if sports is 10 minutes, they get 9 minutes of it. And now Southeastern Louisiana gets the other minute, which I don't understand. So now it's like it's like they totally
You
overlook it.
understand it. You know
Yeah,
why.
I understand. I understand it, but
Yeah. It just
it's the
doesn't
one
make
of those
sense to
things.
you.
It don't make sense. That's the right phrase. It don't make sense.
Yeah.
I know what it is. We got lucky with the newspaper because we have a good beat writer, but we don't have that that TV presence. So it's easy to get overlooked.
Yeah, it's the same in Arkansas. I mean, the Razorbacks get all the. We got Arkansas, Arkansas State, UCA, and PB, all Division 1 schools. But Arkansas get the majority. Arkansas State get a little bit. UCA get very minimal, and PB get next to nothing. So same thing. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. It is what it is.
Yeah, and obviously, SU all day. Living in Tampa, USF was in Tampa, and they're a G5 program. They only been playing football for 25 years, so they still relatively new. Tampa's a Florida Gator town. The Tampa Tribune used to have St. Pete Times both used to have huge University of Florida sections, and then like one or two articles about USF, even though that's the in-town team. So I think it's just like the big schools or the big entities. They command so much attention, and then everybody else fight it out. And I think that's where it comes that you have to find a way to campaign yourself. I mean, I don't know, you know, other than maybe a better social media presence, but some kind of way you have to campaign yourself and put yourself out there because no,
Well, I
they're not
can't
gonna
ask
tell you.
about JSU right now. We know JSU has, they kind of got the floor a little bit. But Thrillo and the rest of the TSU people, Los J, what's TSU presence like? Like, is it are they talked about in all sports, or are they talked about in just basketball, or are they not talked about in Houston? Like, what kind of press do they get in Houston?
Yeah, that's and then, TSU got a situation that none of us have. They're in a major city, so like people always say, like a lot of things to do and a lot
Right.
of they're what almost they have every pro sport except for hockey. So they have all of that, and then UT and A&M and all of that. So I would love to see how they feel about that too.
No press.
Also. And that's tough because that 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 doesn't open any more eyes to what you have,
Yeah.
and it is. Oh, I agree with this 100%. I definitely agree with this 100%. Though that was always the thing. Like they didn't cover Southern, but if you was a black student at LSU, you spent a lot of time at Southern. So it's like you there for the culture, but you don't want to go to school there for whatever reason,
Yeah.
But you still want to get your culture from there. Like I remember, um, when I was in high school and I was looking at schools, and for some reason I wanted to go to Baylor, and I asked the lady about black culture, and she was like, "What else, whatever across town or whatever." I'm like, well, that doesn't answer what I'm asking. It's
Yeah.
like I want to know what's here, and obviously that closed my mind right away to that. But it's one of those things, man. People don't, like the comment said, social media. We can control that all day long, but the mainstream media is tough.
Texas, Texas A&M, Houston. and TSU PV. Hey, that's tough. I wonder how it is in Jackson right now. Is Jackson State, do they get majority of the press, or is it still Mississippi State or Ole Miss?
It's I think the one thing we all can say is we all share a state with SEC schools, and that sucks, man. I mean, it's like if you're at least in Louisiana, even if you're a G5 team like ULL or ULM or Tech or Tulane, you don't even get any attention. It's like LSU is it. Like I always say, I live in a city where people don't even know Southern is in Baton Rouge, and that just doesn't make any sense at all.
So it kind of proved my point. It ain't just HBCUs or whatever. I did want to know, like, why did our people detach themselves from our schools, the only places we could go to school for a long time? You know what I mean? But on a grand scale, it's almost like if you don't go Power Five, you don't matter to the
Oh
world.
yeah, and
You
they they sell that. I remember Coach Prime said that one time. He was like, when I go to a school to visit a school and recruit kids, don't show me the guy you think is the guy that can be good on the FCS level. He's like, I'm over here. Hey, coach, this the guy I want you to look at. Like, well, what about him over there? Oh no, he a Power Five guy. Like, well, at least let me talk to him. Let me let him make the decision that he don't want to play for me, not y'all make it for him. And it's like you said, Power Five is a thing that guys are pushed toward, and in that case, I think it's good that the portal exists because you see so many people go into it, man. It's like they make their choice, and the door to leave is always there now, especially. So I think guys are willing to just go and see and then leave.
right.
But it's always gonna be Power Five, SEC. You get that, you can have a kid locked up for weeks, and Bama come and make an offer and they decommit on the spot.
Black high schools are not popular like they used to. Well, yeah, I think that's true.
Yeah, that's black public schools are really, they really struggling, man. Like in my city, there's 5 or 6 black schools, and 2 of them are like almost low. I think they like 2A in football. That's like low enrollment. And these were schools that were like top teams in the state at one point, and kids don't want to go there. Schools don't get money anymore. It's tough.
Is McKinley one of them?
McKinley is a odd case. They are probably the oldest black school in the city, but they have a strong alumni base. So even though they don't really have a lot, as far as talent wise, they still got money being put in, and they are magnet school now, so they benefit from that. But athletically, they're not anywhere where they used to be, but they got a strong alumni base that still support that school big time.
What about the kid from Scotlandville that just left Alcorn and went to Grambling?
I,
Defensive
I thought Southern had a shot at him, but Scotlandville is a Grambling school, man. A lot of people from Scotlandville went to Grambling over the years, um, which Southern's right up the street, but Grambling definitely keeps their hands in there. Like Hugh Jack, when Hugh Jackson got hired by Grambling on Friday, he was at Scotlandville on Saturday. So it is, you got to put your hands in that, and see what you get out of it. But so they like a lot of, at least in Louisiana, private schools, they run the show right now. So um, kids want to go to private schools and prep schools. It's tough for them inner city schools.
Yeah, so in Little Rock, I know a lot of the schools that even I played against. We talking maybe 15 years ago. You know, a lot of them went down to 8-man football now and stuff like that. They not even playing 11 man football no more.
Yeah, they like I said, one of the oldest schools in Baton Rouge, Capital High School. When I was in high school, a couple of my friends went there. They made state championship game in '93 or '94, I believe, and now the school is barely hanging on. It's like they just totally wiped it out, and it's a struggle because that's where a lot of your students used to, because you had most of your teachers went to Southern or Grambling, and they would steer those kids that way. But now, it's not like that.
Do they play these, or are you proposing this idea?
I think that's something that he might be wanting to put together. I'm all for any kind of game to get exposure, and that was one of the things that I did like. That Southern in basketball, they have like every now and then they'll have like a 3 or 4 game, 3 or 4 high school games, in one day in the mini dome, and that gives kids, the opportunity to play in the arenas. A lot of kids haven't even been to Southern, and it at least gives you the opportunity to go and see what it's about. Maybe you get interested.
I feel like Montgomery would have, because I mean the city, from what I understand, is like 60+% black. So I felt like they would have a good population. But I feel like still Bama and Auburn are probably the big dogs there. But you still got what, UAB, you still got
Troy,
Samford, Troy.
what North Alabama. So I
Oh
mean, you
yeah,
still
you got a
South,
host of
South
schools.
Alabama. You still got a bunch of schools. So and but like you said, people are always gonna even if you're not that level, people are gonna still have you looking for that. Like I always see people, talking about kids. Oh, I don't got no offers. It's like, no, you don't got no Power 5 offers.
Yeah,
You have offers. You just don't got the offer that you think you want.
yeah. The
Sometimes you need to
pool.
readjust your expectations and see what's really out there.
Well, hopefully this season. I think the only thing that's gonna change some of that is maybe the league getting like extremely competitive and capitalize on what Dion, Coach Simmons, and the rest of the schools that are elevating. I think that's the only thing that's gonna possibly bring, because when people schools, I know in Pine Bluff, when the school is doing well, everybody want to be attached to a winner. So if we can get the majority of our schools back to being really, really, really competitive again, I think that'll draw some people back, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, everybody loves a winner. You know, it's a special type of person to follow a team that's losing. You know, I figure all of us are that kind of person because we all are attached to our schools in some way, shape, or form. But everybody is not like us. So some people, you lose one game, they're not coming back next week. So you have to, that's a slippery slope in itself. But that's like the only way you can really get that improvement is to win. Be successful, and it starts out of conference. We say that I say that a lot, but as far as I'm concerned, I don't really care about beating those kind of teams. But other people who are on the fence about what your team is like, that's how they judge you. So you need to be competitive at least. Maybe not win them all, but you just really need to find a way to make something happen. But yeah, I mean, you just have to do what you got, make the best out of it, man, and just try to you got to try to improve your image. And like you say, I think that starts with winning.
Is he saying who do we think will be in the title game for the SWAC?
Uh, yeah, I mean, title game. Like I said, I got Southern and JSU. That's until 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 Southern finished 4-7. I got Southern and JSU. I'm a Cowboys fan, so of course I'm gonna always put my team in the championship.
All right, makes sense. Fair enough. Fair enough.
We going to Super Bowl again.
This y'all year.
Hey, right now this is our year. Last year, this time of the year, it was our year. Season starts. Oh well, next year will be our year. But I got Southern and JSU. What you think so right now?
Right now, I got to go with JSU out the East with a very. I want to hope that FAMU gonna get even better this year. So I think they're gonna come close. Out the West is a toss up to me right now because I think I kind of want to have some faith in TSU. I think they may be a sleeper team to come out the West. So I guess I have to go TSU, JSU right now.
That's not a bad pick. And if I had to, if you was like you can't pick Southern, then I would pick TSU because right now I think TSU is a solid defense away from a championship. If the defense, I know, Los J, you didn't say the defense getting better, but we still have to see it. But if that defense can get better and that offense can stay where they even remain consistent and get better with experience, they're gonna be a tough team to beat. So I'm glad Southern got them early. So maybe they don't fully get all their confidence yet, but this going TSU definitely gonna have a say in this. So I think they're gonna be a team who at the end they're gonna be in it. So I just the West is pick a name out of hat right now.
He think Alcorn. I don't know if Alcorn gonna be there. I'm. They might have to prove me wrong, but I don't think they're gonna be. I think they'll be middle of the road this year.
Yeah, I think I just they one thing I will say is Alcorn has found a quarterback every time they lose one. So if they got to transfer from Tech, maybe he could step in from Louisiana Tech. Maybe he could step in and pick up on it. But I don't know. I think Alcorn still. I think they're missing a couple of pieces. But if they can string together some W's, they got a good, solid non-conference slate. So if they can win a couple of them, look good in them, then they can possibly find themselves in a good situation if they can put it together.
I think they're gonna try to replace old James Houston, which I'm not saying he's easily replaceable, but I think we'll see if their defensive line is not as dominant as they were this past season. They're gonna have a little more trouble for sure.
Yeah, because
Cause
that D line was the heart and soul of that
yeah,
team.
that D line was no joke. Now, what is Los J talking about, man?
He talking about basketball.
Okay, he ain't talking
Because
about.
ain't no way. Even in our worst year this year, I mean, y'all beat us. I'm not gonna say that, but y'all didn't put a 60 piece on us, and it's not gonna happen, man. Y'all might win, but I don't see that happening. Although if it happens, hey, I'll be right here and give you your props. Yeah, I mean, you don't get those kind of guys, man. A guy who is a game changer. You might have some solid guys that can rush the quarterback, but having a guy that you definitely have to totally rearrange your game plan for, those guys don't come often. So it's gonna take a um few guys probably gonna have to fill in to do that by committee.
I got. I think I got them repeating with a big worm. Norfolk State coming in a close second.
Yeah, I would keep my eye on Coach Worm, man. He got a quarterback transfer from the Citadel. I think that guy had a great season last year. So he's a guy. He gonna run the football, and he gonna pass when he need to. So if he got a solid quarterback and his defense is physical, then I won't count them out. But like right now, I think South Carolina State probably is going to repeat. It's probably going to come down to that game, South Carolina State and Norfolk State. I think it's going to probably come down to that game.
And don't forget, he got that transfer John Lampley from Southern University up there in Norfolk State too. So don't leave that out.
That's a good guy, man. He's a locker room guy. You know, he's a
Oh,
coach
that's all you gonna give him credit for.
he the coach. He a coach on the field. You know, I mean, he's a solid. He's a great student, man. I'm not gonna bash the dude, man. He did his best here. He's a Odom's guy, so you know he's the guy that's gonna if he can compete for the job. I mean, he can be solid.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna I'm not gonna badmouth him, man.
What you think? You see that running back from Delaware State with JSU too?
Yeah, that
I mean,
that,
like, come on, man. How many
that,
slots over there at JSU?
that I really would love to know that, man. Like if somebody can just give me a spreadsheet.
This man said a spreadsheet.
Hey, I'm old, man. I don't know all this, but
Nah, that
I don't even know none of these applications. No,
hey, that's a good way to look at it.
just send me something, you know, and let me see some numbers, and so I can understand. That's all. I just, you know, it's just
Yeah, he got a
curiosity.
running back from UAM, one from
Delaware
Delaware
State.
State.
They just got another defensive lineman from JUCO, um, and you know, it's like they constantly adding transfers, man, and our guys. It's like, well, one thing I will say is nobody's scared of a depth chart there. So,
Yeah.
or else they're not reading the room. So it's I don't
Maybe
know
we
which one
not
it is.
seeing the amount of people that's leaving. Maybe we not seeing that.
Yeah, that's possible too. You know, maybe they losing more than they putting out, and you know,
Yeah.
I mean, because I feel like if you didn't brought in a bunch of FBS transfers on the defensive line, you shouldn't necessarily have to ask for any dogs to come play for you because you should already have brought them in. But you know, maybe things don't always look like we think they look.
I know PV been quiet, man. Anybody in Houston or in that area heard anything about
Yeah,
Butler McDowell? They
I
ain't
haven't
talking.
heard nothing about Purview at all. I mean, I don't know if you really want to go with whatever Los J gonna tell you about Purview because I doubt it.
Yeah, I can't listen to him. I can't. He down there with zero in Missouri City, Texas, the Mo City Don.
So you know, I wouldn't really run with too much he say about PV because it's not even it's not even gonna be as nice as he is about Southern. So I think
Well, you got anything else, man?
nah, man, I'm good. Although I will say I already ate today, so I'm good. But I don't have to tap out because of that. But I know you got to go do some things. So we're gonna go ahead and get on up out of here.
They got separation anxiety. Everybody leaving. They going to
Hey,
Southern,
they hey, purple is similar to blue. You know, it's like hey,
huh?
and what y'all say we got multiple shades of blue. I've heard it all. I know y'all all say we wear like 9 different shades of blue. Maybe purple is a close shade of blue, so they want to come. You know, they want to come to Baton Rouge. Hey, he gonna work out a chemistry experiment to get this team to work. Um, Doing this every year, I really want to see how that turns out. Um, this team last year team had a lot of close games that they defense got them out of. Um, I don't know if they're gonna be on that same level this year, so it's gonna be interesting to see. Maybe the offense take a better step if the O line could block this year.
Yeah. I mean, they got a lot of guys coming in, but I still think Warren Newman and Keith Corbin are huge losses.
Oh yeah, Newman is
Even Josh Lanier, those
those,
people
those
make plays.
those guys are consistent chain movers. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like you still got your Weidmans and your Ruckers, you know, guys who can make big plays and score long touchdowns, but those guys were the guys that when you needed that tough yard or two on a 3rd and 3, you need a pass, they was coming down with their ball 75-80% of the time. You know, so like you don't that's a bigger loss than anything.
Yeah, you got to be careful with, you definitely got to have command of that team. You got to have strong leadership in that locker room, and you got to be able to get the bad apples out as soon as possible. You can't let nothing, mold, and you can't do that.
Yeah, and that's like that's the one thing I always want to see because right now it's all good, and I'm not, I think JSU gonna be a very good team this year, so I'm not saying that, but everybody ain't on a team for the same reason. Everybody not on the team for the glory of the team and to get the W's. You want your stats too. So if you're not getting no touches and you could have went somewhere else and got touches, somebody's gonna be unhappy at some point. That's just that's just simple mathematics. So I definitely want to keep my eyes on that in the coming years. Once things start to not be as new, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
So
I don't think nobody got nothing else.
yeah, I think we can go ahead and hop on out of here, man. So with that being said, we thank y'all for tuning in, man. Y'all definitely make this show what it is. We appreciate it. Um, if y'all got y'all shirts, man, let us know. Take a picture, put it on the socials so y'all can show off.
All right, man. I'm gonna get out of here.
All right. So y'all have a good day, man, and y'all enjoy y'all weekend. We'll catch y'all later.
All right.